Here at Underground Card Zone, we're going to talk about the expenses of owning a shop, running a shop, selling cards as a shop, and what makes it so difficult, and like why it's so difficult to do this. And I enjoy it, so like if you enjoy difficult things, have at it. But we're going to talk about expenses, right? So if you're looking at rent, right, you got, see this good, you got $2,000, and I got the camera flipped, so it's going to be a little bit backwards. So anyway, $2,000 just for rent. All right, $200 for a dumpster, $200 for electric. Water is like $25, gas is like $50. What else is there? That's rent, electric, dumpster, water. Honestly, that's just basic bills. The basic bills, 24. So this is 26 or 24.75. 24.75 just for the basic bills. That's before you pay yourself, before you buy product. That's just your monthly, like, low-end basic bills. Some places rent's $4,000, $3,000, whatever. But let's just say you're in a smaller area, you get your rent for $2,000. And let's talk about booster packs. Let's say you make $2 on a booster pack, right? On one pack. You're gonna sell 1,000 of those just to pay rent. 1,000 booster packs just to pay rent. All right. Let's say you make $10 margin on a Pokemon box because everything's sold out. So you bought a secondhand market for $70. You're selling it for $80, and you're like right at market. So you're only making $10. How many of those do you have to sell to pay for your dumpster? Oh, yeah. You sell 20 ETBs just to pay for the dumpster. That's something people don't think about when they come in and shop as a customer. It's like, for just the bare bones basics, I'm not talking like any extras, just the basics, just to have the building. You gotta sell 20 ETBs to pay for your dumpster, 20 ETBs to pay for your electric. I mean, I don't get like why. I mean, I guess it's just a customer mindset. But so many people think that like with wholesale you're getting stuff at like incredibly cheap boxes and stuff. But there was a box I was looking at wholesale the other day I was interested in. It was a collector booster box for Commander Legends. It was Battles for Baldur's Gate. It was like $350 distribution, and TCG player price was $360. Dude, that's tough. That's real tough. You're not gonna pay, you don't want to pay $350 to make $360, and if you sell above that, you're the bad guy. So you don't want to buy that product. And then when someone asks for that product, you gotta explain that whole situation to them, or you can just be like, "We can't get it. We can't get it at a reasonable price." But they're like, "I thought you had distribution." I got 4 distribution. So like, man. So yeah, opening a shop. Let's get back to it. So we're looking at $24.75 at the very least for basic bills. And I know I have the camera facing me. I don't have a director. I don't have anyone to help me with this. I'm not great with cameras. So yeah, you're a little bit backwards. We'll improve the quality one day when I have some extra help. But I'm trying to really get the thing going. $24.75 total. All right, let's talk about labor. And you're gonna spend a lot on labor. And we got part-time employees, and I'm still spending $10,000 a month on labor. So $10,000 on labor every month. That's $12,475. So $12,475 for labor bills. Factor in shipping supplies if you're selling online. Factor in toilet paper, paper towels, Factor in drinks. Now, I mean, I guess you can factor drinks into your cost of revenue, your cost of goods sold. But we're at 12 grand on just labor and bills. And what we gotta do now is buy product. And distribution don't always have product that you're looking for. So you can either buy stuff you're not looking for to increase your allocation so new products you get more of, or buy stuff you are looking for the secondhand market, which does not help your allocations, which keeps you like a hamster in a loop where you're just circling and circling and circling until you eventually grow your allocations and distribution at a very slow pace. And it's even slow when you're buying dumb stuff. This week, what did I buy? I bought 36 Lost Cavern Commander decks from wholesale, and it was what? 40 from Tarkir Dragonstorm at wholesale. Why? Because I want more collector boxes at releases. I want more Commander decks at releases. I want more bundles at releases. So I want to sell all those, make a small profit, which, oh wait, if you think they're all going to sell in store, that's funny. You know why? Because, alright, say we get Lost Caverns Commander decks. So we have one of each, right? We're probably going to move one of each in store for the month. Oh, wow. One of each? Okay, cool. So I maybe profited, I don't know, let's say 15 bucks a piece. So there's $60 before we count all this stuff in, right? So maybe 60 bucks. So one of each. I got to break these down, list them on TCG Player, sell them as whole boxes online, and I'll make, if I break them down, I'll make 60 to 75 bucks after I sell all 400 of the singles. If I don't break them down and I sell them online, I'm gonna make $8 profit per case of these. So let's just stick with the 60 bucks. I made 60 bucks in store from selling one of each of these decks, which I may sell more, and I may sell less, or I may sell more Velociraptors than some of the other decks. But I made 60 bucks. Take that off this, I still need 12,410. And obviously this is just one product. But it's one product that I was stuck into buying from distribution to raise my numbers. And sometimes you get lucky. They gave you like a little, like, here's a little for you, here's a little for you. Good luck. Make you a little bit of money. We want to keep you here. So we're going to give you a very little bit of stuff. You get lucky, like, I say lucky. It's not even luck. Like, I got 10 prismatic bundles, I said in the last video, for 40 bucks, sold them, I can sell them for 60. I'm the bad guy, selling at market. Distribution charged me 13 above MSRP, but I'm the bad guy. Alright, I sell those 10. Those 10 prismatic bundles will sell in a day or two. So, there's $200. And, like, it's little stuff that adds up quick. But, you know, how many of each item you have to sell to reach any of the price points on all of these little items on here is insane. Insane. You're not making 50, or you're not making double your money. You don't double anything with distribution. You buy it for 100, you're selling it for 130, 120. So you're making 20, 30 bucks off $100. How many times do you have to sell that item to reach any of these goals? Or a collective of items that make you $1, $5, $10, $20. The margin's not there. And so many people want to get into owning a shop, and they don't look at it like this. Like, think about it. Really think about it. If you make, I say you get a decent price, you're making 20 bucks at ETB. 20 bucks. How much is to pay? How many ETBs do you have to sell to pay rent? How many ETBs do you have to pay to sell rent? What is that? 5's 100, so 100 times, or 5 times what? 20 hundreds? Okay, so, sorry, math. 100 ETBs to pay rent. Do you really think you're going to sell 100 ETBs? Do you? Because we don't. I mean, we sell stuff in store, but 100 ETBs aren't moving in a month unless it's a brand new release. Like, day of release, we can move a lot of ETBs. Probably 40, 50 ETBs of just release day. But, alright, you're selling your 100 ETBs, you're paid your rent. What about all the other bills? How much of other stuff are you going to be able to sell? And right now you're buying Yu-Gi-Oh wholesale for 60, 61 wholesale, whatever, 59, depending on the distro. So let's just say 60 bucks Yu-Gi-Oh wholesale. All right, market, you're gonna have it at 60 bucks. So how many Yu-Gi-Oh boxes do you have to sell to make your bills? Oh, wait, it don't matter because you're not making no money. After the 3% credit card fee, you're losing a couple bucks. How many times can you go negative on a product and still survive the onslaught of bills and incoming buys? Shops where you make money is singles, right? People trade in singles, snowballs effects. You give them 70%, whatever. You choose your percentage. You give them say you give them 70%, right? So you're gonna trade in a $100 card. They're gonna get $70 credit to get a $70 card that you gave $55 credit for. And then you snowball up and up and up and away. But it only goes so far because you gotta sell those, and instead of reinvesting it in the cards, you gotta pay employees, you gotta pay electric, water. Every year I gotta pay like $150 for a water backflow test for the city. You got dumb stuff like that all the time. We're spending on envelopes every month $100 just for, well, 120 just for shipping envelopes every month. Stamps $73. We go through 28 rolls. We go through an average of 7 rolls of stamps a week. 73 times 28. Let's do the math. What you don't have to sell online. You need less labor if you sell online. But online equals opportunity. Even if it's just TCG player. If that's all you do, that equals opportunity. Because what you could do is you can buy some stuff that you wouldn't typically buy because you could sell it online. If someone comes in with cards that you know will never sell in store, tell them that. It's not going to sell in store, but we'll take it anyway, maybe a little lower percentage because we're going to sell it online. You're going to get hit with TCG player fees, but in turn, what's going to happen is you can move it online, and in about 2 weeks, you have the money. You get the ball rolling on that. You start making money from that, which helps a little bit. I mean, the profit margin's like 10 or 12% with that, depending on what you're buying at. I'm not trying to completely snake customers. It's difficult. It really is. You always got to figure out what makes the customer happy in that situation. Also, don't start your business with debt, because you think 12 grand is a lot each month. Try paying $500 to $1,000 on a loan each month. On top of that, how many packs, how many ETBs, how many whatever do you have to sell to get there? It took me forever to grow. I started with my business with $8,000. What was it, Friday or Saturday? Yeah, it was Friday. Last Friday we did like $8,000. We're making now what we started with, but it's a grind. You know how many hours I work? Come in here at 7:30 in the morning. I'm here till, on a good day I leave at like 6. On a good day, that's a good day. On a good day I work 10.5 hours. On a bad day, well, it's a good day because we're making money. I'm busy, whatever. But I'm saying there's days where I'm here for 16 hours. I got bags under my eyes. I have gray hair. I'm young. You wouldn't believe how young I am. I'm not even 40. And I got bags under my eyes and gray hair. Because I'm here all the time. So you have to be willing to give that up. And I see shops that will be like, hey, we're closed today. I have to go do this. No, that's a bad look. Whatever hours are on your window, on your website, on Google, you should be there for them. Now, different scenarios are different, but if your AC goes out and it's 100 degrees out, I wouldn't open the store. But if you're like, oh, I'm taking the day off because I'm going to go on like a field trip and do this and that and this and that and go to Kings Island. No. Grind. Grind because you got these bills to pay. You got cars to sell. You got money to be made. But if you think you're going to come out here and profit crazy, nah, dog. You're going to profit. You want to profit, But you're in months where you end the month negative 3 or 4,000, negative 5,000. Your next month you might be up 16,000. Don't blow it. Buy stuff that will sell strategically and go from there. But right now, you got to figure out what kind of money you have. What kind of money you have to take care of this. But I will tell you what. I've seen videos where people say you need 50 to 100 grand to open a card shop. They're right. They're freaking right. I didn't do it that way. And I regret not doing it that way because I struggled. But the struggle has taught me a lot. So I say, if you want to do this, sell online first. If you don't like selling online, this ain't for you. Because you're going to have to sell online to do this. TCG player, I mean, we're doing 100, 200 orders a day. eBay, we're doing orders. Amazon, we're packing stuff up for that. You got to do online. And we make more in store than we do online. But without the supplemental online income, so much stuff we wouldn't be able to move. We would just run out of money. I talked about those commander decks a few minutes ago. The commander decks would not move here in store. So if I didn't move them online, I just have a back stock of them. Well, new product comes out. You need 20 grand for it. All your commander decks that sit in the basement ain't going to help you. You break them down, you list them. At least get 75% of your money back real quick. Let the rest slowly give you money over time. All right, you freed up a bunch of capital. You can now buy the new set. And if you do that enough, you free up capital enough doing that. Over time, the other cards, the slower selling cards will sell. So you'll make money, and you just keep repeating that process and getting used to the process and setting up your process in store. Like, all right, we're doing this day, this day, so on and so forth. And you can really start growing your online inventory, get cart optimization or get direct, flush stuff out, and you're doing good. Ish. So, it's really weird, and people think, like I had a customer yesterday, asked how we got distribution. I said, you have to have a shop, dude. Distribution is not going to hook you up unless you're a shop owner. You know why? Because they don't have enough for their shops. I showed him, I pulled up distro. I said, Pokemon. And I said, there's no products available in this category. Bro, buy it online. Buy it online. Buy it from random folks to have it. If you're wanting to just be an online streamer or whatever. I don't know. It's just, if y'all don't understand that, like, they don't have enough product for me. Why are they going to give it to somebody that does not have all these bills? They know we have to buy that because we got to sell it to pay all this. Honestly, if you want to do this card shop thing, you can feel free to talk to me and I'll give you some advice. But I'm going to be straightforward and honest because it's not as easy as you think it is. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm all about it. But I'm not going to tell you that it's easy and that you're just going to make a ton of money because you're not. You may make a ton of money one day. One day. If you start out with a lot of money, you play your cards right, you're going to make a ton of money. And if you start out like me, it's going to take you 5 years to make money. It's going to take, and most card shops don't last 5 years. I don't know how we made it this far. We did. Actually, I do know how. I worked my ass off. And I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I make money to sell cardboard. And, you know, about once a month, I get to sit down and play a duel, play a game of Commander, whatever, about once a month. It's really nice. So if you think you're going to come in here and play cards, you're not going to make no money. I did that when I started. Man, I was so checked out and burnt out from my corporate job that when I first started selling cards, having the card shop, I sat around and played cards a lot. Did not sell online my first year. I don't even know how we stayed open doing that. Oh, I know how. I worked a different job. I didn't pay myself. I worked 2 jobs. I ran the shop. I worked 8 hours in the morning and ran the shop from like 4 to midnight. We were open 4 to midnight. I changed that real quick. We're not open until midnight. Screw that. We'll stay that late Friday and Saturday because of Commander and Yu-Gi-Oh! But you're like, you can't sit around and play. You gotta sell. You gotta sell. And if it starts out with bulk, that's whoa boy, bulk. Bulk was my first like lesson in like, if you grind, you make money. You buy $10 for 1,000 of bulk. By the time you list it all and slowly sell it all, it's $100. Turn that $10 to 100. You're not doing that with anything else in this business. But you got to do it at a large scale, large volume. I'd say my first big buy is I bought 1 million cards from another shop that was going out of business. 1 million magic cards. I had to get a sorting machine. You know why? Because, do you know how many cards 1 million is? Nah. So, sorting machine. You want to buy a sorting machine? You're looking at, the one I bought was like 10, 11 grand. And it was a cheap one. There's one I want that's like 35 grand, but I also can't stomach spending $35,000 on a machine. Maybe I will one day. Maybe it'll get cheaper. Maybe another one will come out that's even cheaper than that. But at the end of the day, you're spending a lot of money, and you're not making a lot of money, and you have to be willing to understand that. There was weeks at the beginning, after I left the other job, started paying myself. There was rough times where I was like, oh, I'm not paying myself this week. We're eating ramen noodles. Now it's like, okay, I'm taking care of myself, taking care of my son. I got the money to do so, and I'm not rich. I want to be rich. I'll get rich. That's neither here or there. But you're not going to get rich as a card shop unless you are willing to work a gazillion hours, sell off stuff every which way you can, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of grim. It really is. But I just want to go over. You know what? This don't set up here, and it pisses me off. Never mind. It sets up there. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I've been in like rant mode lately because so many people are trying to do this. That Pokemon is hype. When Pokemon dies, I swear, like, you're gonna lose out on so much money. You're gonna like not realize that the Pokemon money is not real right now. It's free. It's like a COVID stimulus check. It really is. And you're not even making a lot of margin on it. You're not getting a lot from distribution, so you're not making a ton of money on it. You're buying a secondhand market. Even shops, I know shops that pay 90, 95% on sealed product. So yeah, sell that for 5%. How many times do you have to sell a box to make $5 and make $2,000 for rent? 200 times. No, it's not. It's like fucking a lot. 400. I don't know. I can't do math right now. I'm tired. Anyway, it's a ton. It's a ton. But when the Pokemon boom dies and you do $50, $100 a day in Pokemon sales transactions in your store, and I know that's unfathomable now, right? We're doing that in the first like 20 minutes we're open every day. But it will happen. I remember there was days where we'd sell $100 worth of Pokemon all day. In store, all day, $100. That's a combination between packs, singles, whatever. There's days where like ETBs would set below MSRP for weeks. So, I don't know. I advise, my biggest advice, if you want to open a card shop right now, don't. Sell online. Sell online for a year, save up money, and get back in it. Hell, if it was me and like I knew what I knew and I did not have a shop yet, what I would do is sell online, wait for Pokemon to crash, buy everything you can when it's crashed. When it booms up again, reopen. Or save up a ton of money when it's crashed, open up, build allocations because nobody wants the crap. Keep it all in your basement, and then when it booms again, you have allocations, you have a ton of stuff that went way up in value, and you're winning. But really, really do your research before you get into this, and understand that you're going to be busy, and it's not going to be easy. And if you want to do the easy route, you're not going to make money, and that's just the way it is. Alright, well, I'm done complaining for the day. I should probably start pulling cards for TCG player orders. Have a good one, guys.